has to add oyster crackers to grocery.
Oyster crackers added to grocery.
And that's how my life begins. So my husband is sitting directly behind the camera right now, and I was like, here we go. And then I made a quick comment about how I have nothing to keep my dog quiet. So he at that moment decided to, oh, hi, Letty. Hi. To put it on RA. We can't say the full name or she starts talking back to us. But, this is just real life, and this is how things go. So, let me get something real quick to keep the dog quiet. This is how one of our tools to entertain our dog while I'm doing my videos. So, hi everyone. Happy Sunday. A little dreary. I'm actually a little disappointed that there isn't more snow out there. I know that's a weird thing to say, but, they hyped it up and they said that we could see like 1 to 2 inches on the ground, and I knew it wasn't going to stick around, but I'm still a little sad that it didn't. So I know in northern Wisconsin it did. I've got friends up there, and possibly in Green Bay there's going to be some snow. So Packer game today, so I'm coming on a little bit earlier. And I also made something for lunch. We've got dinner right here in the crock pot, so it's my husband's famous taco chili. We all love it in this household. It's so easy to put together. I think I've done it before, but I am just totally on this soup and chili and chowder kick right now. I'm pretty sure I had soup every single day last week for lunch. And if I didn't, I missed it because I have just been eating it like crazy. So, quick breakdown on the taco chili. 2 pounds of meat. We do a pound of ground beef and a pound of turkey. You use a can of mild chili beans with all of that sauce. Then 2 other cans of beans of your choice. We did black beans and pinto beans in this. We've got some diced tomatoes. You can add chilies if you want a little bit more heat in there. Corn is in here, a can of tomato sauce. And then when we make all of the ground beef, we add half an onion into that ground beef. So then it's all cooking together. And then a packet of taco seasoning and a packet of ranch seasoning. Let it cook all day long on low in your crock pot. It will be fantastic by dinner time. We'll probably pull it out right around halftime for the Packer game. It'll be perfect. And then we serve it with cheese, sour cream, and Frito scoops. And you just get to scoop it out of there. So that's our dinner. It's cooking along just fine right here. And what I actually made today, and I'm a little foul on my part, we ran out of sour cream. So I've got to run to the store, but timing just worked out perfect for me to do this right now. My son went down for his nap, so it's nice and quiet that I can actually get this done. But I wanted to show you guys how I made dumplings because I attempted chicken dumpling soup for the first time for myself. I love making soups. I made soup last weekend. I made a butternut squash soup. 2 weekends ago. I made other soups too, but butternut squash, a loaded potato soup, and then kind of like a creamy chicken chowder in a way, I guess. It also had like some cheese and stuff in it, but those are all gone, so I don't have any more of those to eat. I actually picked up earlier this week the chicken dumpling soup from Quick Trip. No offense, Quick Trip. If you know me at all, you know I have an extreme amount of love for Quick Trip, but not my favorite chicken dumpling soup. I did buy it in a bag. They sell their soups by the bag, and I was just looking for, something warm, something hearty. I was pretty chilled at the moment when I bought it, and not my favorite in town. My favorite definitely is the Moreland Cafe. It's a little hidden gem. It's actually inside of the Moreland Medical Building on the corner of Moreland and Delafield. I work in that building now. So they have chicken dumpling soup a couple days a week, and it is by far my favorite chicken dumpling soup in Waukesha. It has so many things in it. There's so much to eat, and the dumplings are just delicious. So I'm going to scoop up a little bit of my chicken dumpling soup and show it to you guys. I need my ladle. So the basis of a chicken dumpling soup is basically the basis of a chicken noodle soup. You're just adding dumplings instead of noodles into it. And a dumpling and a noodle aren't too far apart. It's just, a noodle is nice and thin, and a dumpling is a chunk. So I'm just going to bring this over here so you guys can see. So I have some pretty large dumplings in here. Basically, the recipe that I used, I followed, a lot of the recipes were calling for like huge dumplings on top of it, and I didn't want to go that route. I like smaller dumplings. So this recipe, you basically are, I did a whole TikTok on it, so you'll see all of that after, but I'll just kind of walk you through the process quick. Chopped up some carrots, celery, and onion into bite-sized pieces, and then you just kind of saute those a little bit to get them a little bit weaker. Then you're going to add in your broth and then simmer that for a while with some seasoning, salt, pepper. I added some thyme, some poultry seasoning, stuff like that. And then you're going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes. Then you're going to make your dumplings, which is a combination. These were a combination of flour, baking powder, some seasoning. I did poultry seasoning in it because this is a chicken noodle soup or a chicken dumpling soup. And then you added in sour cream, milk, and a little bit of oil. You mix it just until it is all combined. You don't want to overmix. And then you're supposed to plop it into your big pot of soup all over the top. So they suggested using like a very small like ice cream scoop or a cookie scoop. I didn't have that small of one, so I was just basically using a teaspoonful and then scraping it off of my spoon to get it in there. So they landed all over the top of it, and then you cover it and you don't open the cover. Those things need to like steam and boil, and your soup is actually boiling during this time. So you just kind of let it go. And then I checked it at around the 12-minute mark. I took one dumpling out, covered it back up real quick, and tasted it, and it just didn't seem firm enough for me. I was a little worried that it was really going to fall apart, which in essence is just going to turn it into like a really creamy soup because there's a little bit of a flour milk slurry in this already to make it a little bit more creamy than just a chicken noodle soup. But, you know, if your dumplings completely fall apart, well, then you didn't really make a dumpling soup at all. So I did like 3 more minutes on them. And then the recipe did say you can take the lid off and then like stir a little bit more crazy on top of it, turn down the temperature, and that'll help those larger ones break down. I don't mind the size of mine that are now. They still fit on top of a spoon. I can kind of cut them in half. And the soup is very, very hot because it boiled for a very long time. So it's been off for a bit. But a shortcut for me is that I actually used a rotisserie chicken that I bought. So just kind of pulled all of the meat off of the rotisserie chicken that I wanted. Definitely added more than the recipe called for. I love a nice hearty soup. And so this was definitely hearty. So I'm going to take a nice big spoonful here. Yeah, it's good. It does not top the Moreland Cafe chicken dumpling soup. I'm sure there are other places in Waukesha that I have yet to try their chicken dumpling soup, but that is one of my top places that I love getting their chicken dumpling soup. And their dumplings are very, very small. It's almost like, what do I want to call it? Like, it's that German dish, like the Wiener Schnitzel with like Spätzle on the side. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. And I've made that once before. And that's kind of how tiny the little dumplings are, is that they're kind of like little chunks of dough. But this is good. I know that I will definitely eat this. I'll be taking it to work. You know, a nice little crescent roll with it or something would be delicious. My husband and I went to Jack's Cafe in Waukesha. If you've been following my post, you saw that on Friday. And they had lobster bisque, and it was phenomenal. It was nice and thick. The lobster was really, really fine, tiny little pieces. It very much was reminiscent of what we like at Thunder Bay Grill called the seafood fondue. It was very good that way. Then I had an event over by Meadowbrook Sendik's, that strip mall, yesterday, and when I went into Sendik's, they also had their lobster bisque available. So the difference between those two is that the lobster bisque at Sendik's was much more watery, but the chunks of lobster were huge. It wasn't as broken down. So if I could get the Jack's Cafe thickness with a little bit more of those larger lumps, that would be like by far the best soup ever. But everything at Jack's Cafe was fantastic. You probably will see me making their killer bread very soon on here because it was so fun. That's definitely going to the top of my husband's and my list. We thought everything was fantastic. Tiny little hole in the wall. I don't know why I haven't been there before, but so excited that we've been there now and we were able to enjoy it. So we did some shopping. I was a little bit off on Friday, like a half day I had, so I was off on Friday, not a little off. And so we started a little bit of Christmas shopping in downtown Waukesha. It doesn't hurt to start early, and we're super duper supporters of small business and shopping local as much as we can. Sure, there's some certain things that we can't get for some of our friends and family because they have a very specific request of a gift that they want, but we'll gladly try and shop as local as possible. So we did a little bit of a start, kind of got some ideas as well. Maybe didn't purchase yet, but got some ideas. So very excited to get back down there, do some shopping. You know, Christmas is around the corner. They're telling everybody shop sooner, you know, and support those local businesses. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy some soup now that it's lunchtime. Sit down, watch a movie, hopefully maybe get a little bit more snow going on outside. I see some flurries, but I was just expecting a little bit more out of this storm. I know it's only November, but you know, that first snowfall can kind of be fun sometimes. So I hope you guys all have a great day. If you know an excellent soup spot that you have gone to in Waukesha, please let me know. I want to try all of the soups. I love a soup, as I've mentioned, so I want to try all the different kinds and see who's got what going on. So it's definitely soup season in my life, and I know out there too. So I'm very excited to try different ones and all the different varieties. So go Packers, return of Aaron Rodgers. Hope this is a good win for us, and we'll be watching, and I'll be enjoying my chicken dumpling soup at lunch. And I'll take a picture and share with you guys my taco chili later today after it's done. So hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. I'll see you soon.